This conference will now be recorded.
Hello all, good morning. Welcome back. So we are discussing networking part, right? So today we are going to work on different activity. So which is a different scenario. The same concept, different scenario. Okay. So yesterday we created 3 containers, container 1, container 2, container 3. First, when we create that containers, by default, okay, default network connected, right? So those containers connected with default network, which is bridge network, right? So after that, we created custom network. So from bridge network, we have moved that containers to custom network, right? Yeah, the same way. So another concept we work on another concept. So recently we implemented in our project that okay, it's the same way we can configure. Yeah, we can create 3 containers, different containers. The concept here is yeah. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, how to assign manually IP addresses? Like now, it came default IP address, right? 172 series. Okay.
Okay.
Network, like if any series, company networks is different series, right? Like 192 series or like 118.
Yeah, correct. Got it. So normally in real time, so when we create containers, when we create networking in our real-time projects, so what will happen? So we first point is we use enterprise edition, Docker enterprise edition. So currently we are using community edition, but in real time we use enterprise edition. So also in our project, when in our networking, like in our project, whatever scope is there, like whatever subnet ranging is there. So in that only it will be created IP addresses. Okay, whatever range is there inside of your private network, that range it will take. So while configuring enterprise edition, by the time we'll give one option. Okay, so this is the range from this IP to this IP. So within that range, it will take IPs. Normally, we don't assign one by one. For example, we have 100 containers. So we don't assign one by one IP addresses, right? So within that range, it will take IP address. Got it, right? So this, yeah, these are the public ranges actually. But in real time, we use private range, our own range, our project IP range. Within that range, it will take IP addresses.
Yes.
Fine. So here, now what we will do, so we'll create 2 networks here. Yeah. So we create 2 networks here. So second scenario, so we create 2 networks. So network name, so this is the DevOps 1 network. Second one is DevOps 2. So under this, we have 3 containers. Okay, container 1, container 2, container 3. This is one container. So we have 3 containers here. Okay. So container name we can put like C1, C2, C3. Okay, so these are the 3 containers. We have 2 different networks: DevOps 1 network, DevOps 2 network. Okay. Now my scenario is I want to establish communication between these two containers. That is where what I will do. These two containers I connect with DevOps 1 network. The C1, C2 I connect with DevOps 1 network. Also C2 I want to connect with DevOps 2 network also. And C3 I connect with DevOps 2, right? But here the restrictions, where we restrict that network. So from C1 to C3, I don't want to establish the communication. From C1 to C3, fine. From C1 to C3, I want to restrict the communication. From here to C3. I don't want to communicate this. Okay, I don't want to communicate from C1 to C3. So this is the same activity yesterday we performed, right? So but different way. Okay, we are creating two custom networks. Okay, inside of that we are creating, under that we are creating three containers. So container 2 will communicate in DevOps 1 network, also DevOps 2 network. Okay, so C2 will communicate C3 and C1, but C1 should not communicate with C3. This is the concept. So we create lab here. Right. Let us go and create this. Fine. Now switch to user. Fine. Now if we check here, Docker images. So these are the images available, right? Now Docker PS, nothing is there. Running containers -a. So these are the containers available. Yesterday we created these containers, right? Container 1, container 2, container 3. Right? Now I create three more containers. Okay, with different network, within the different network. Directly we can create into different network. So no need to create in bridge network. Directly when we create the container, okay, we can specify the network, so that what will happen, directly it will create in the particular network. Okay, fine. Now I want to create three containers which are C1, C2, C3 on different networks. See here, DevOps 1, I want to add these two containers. On DevOps 2 network, I add these two containers. Okay, from C1 to C3 we restrict the network traffic. Okay, Now command here is docker run hyphen name docker run hyphen it name space container name c1 space hyphen network. On which network you want to create hyphen network name DevOps1, okay, and the image name BusyBox. Yesterday we downloaded one image, right? So that image I'm using. So what I'm doing here, so docker run -it name c1 container name network name DevOps1 I'm creating, okay, and the image name is BusyBox. Directly while creating the container, we are directly attaching into new network, custom network, right? Enter. Docker error response from daemon network DevOps not okay. First we need to create networks, right? So without create networks, how can we connect this containers? First we need to create networks, custom networks. Then only we can assign this container to network, right? Yeah, first we'll create some network, two networks, Docker network space create DevOps1. I'm creating this network. Yeah, DevOps1 is created. Next one, DevOps2 also I want to create DevOps2. Docker network create DevOps2. So now we created two networks. Now if you go and check this Docker network ls, so currently we have, these are the networks available. DevOps1, DevOps2 we created now, right? So in this network, we create containers now. Okay, fine. Now Docker run -it space -name space c1 container 1 network space network name DevOps1 space image name. So I'm creating one container under DevOps1 network. Enter. Network c1 name c1 Docker run -it. Docker inspect, Docker network inspect. DevOps. This is DevOps for network. Okay.
So C1 is the already existing store.
C1 already exists. Container where is not available, right? Here not there. C1 in this network. There is no C1 container, right? Let us try once again. Or else we do one thing. We create first containers. We can create first. Then we'll move into this network. Okay. So in test lab, normally some commands will not work. Okay. Some yeah, this is our community edition, right? So few commands. So I tried already. Some commits not working here. We do one thing. First, we create containers here, and we can attach to this network. Fine. So first, we create 3 containers: Docker run -it -name C1 and image name. Image name is BusyBox. Why it is not BusyBox? Image is there, right?
String one is all.
So what is that, Suresh? You are talking something.
This one C1 is already.
C1 already there?
Yes, sir. It's mentioning.
Docker PS. Let us check. Got it. Okay, right. C1 already there. So once we inspect this, Docker inspect container name C1. Where it is connected, let us check. DevOps one. Yeah, it is connected to DevOps one network.
It is not SN.
Let me check that it is not a set as C1 name C1. Okay. Yeah, so another network. Yeah, one second. Docker run hyphen name C. Yeah, Docker run -it hyphen name C2 also you can create. Check it out. C2 also you can create. Yeah, now it is created clearly. Okay. C1 I think earlier we created. Okay. Anyways, fine. Ping.
We can delete and again we can create, right?
Yeah, we can delete and create. In google.com. C2 created. Okay. So now we can delete one container which is C1. We can open another console quickly. So copy this public IP. C2 we already created. Now Docker inspect C2. Yeah, now one IP address is attached to C2. So this is C2 container, DevOps one network. Yeah, this is the IP address assigned. Name is C2. Fine. Now I delete this C1 container first, then we'll create, once again we'll create that. So Docker RM C1.
CM1.
Now it is deleted. Okay, now Docker PS -a C1 is not there, right? Now we can create C1 also. Command here is Docker run -it -name C1 space -network which network you want to create, DevOps 1 space image name. Enter. Now it is created, right? Fine. Ping google.com, or else what we do, Google. So 2 containers we created. Now third one also we can create now. So quickly open one more console, copy public IP, open one more console here. SSH authentication. One, two. Right. Now Docker run -it -name C3 space network name DevOps 2. Yes, first we can okay, network DevOps 2 and BusyBox. Docker run -it name C3 network name DevOps 2 BusyBox. Yeah. Now third container we created in DevOps 2 network, right? Ping google.com. Right. Ping. Yeah, 3 containers we created now. So next one is what we did now. We just created 3 containers. 2 containers we attached to network 1. 1 container we attached to network 2, DevOps network 2, right? So now this container should be attached to network 2 as well, right? But now we open one more console finally. Right. Now I want to inspect network 1 and network 2 first. Then I attach container 2 to DevOps network 2. Okay. First we'll inspect network 1 and network 2. Yeah, for which command here is Docker network Docker network, inspect, right? DevOps 1. So DevOps 1 network we are inspecting. Here we have two containers, C1, C2. C1 is having IP address 19.03, 0.3, 172.19.0.3, right? So this is C1 IP address. So C2 IP address is 0.2, right? From C2 to C3, from C2 to C1, it will ping, right? Now, let us try to ping this. First one is container 2, right? So container 2 IP address is 02 19.03. Okay, we'll mention IP address first here. Okay, to avoid confusions, we mention some IP address 172.19.0.3. C1 IP address is 0.3. See here, this is the C1 IP address. So this is a C2 IP address, right? This is C2 IP address. Fine. C2, C3. Now I want to ping C2 container to C1 container. So this is C2 container. Control Z to stop this ping. Ping. This is C2. I want to ping C2. Ping 172.19.0.3. Now it is pinging. From C2 to C1 it is pinging, right? And the C1 to C2 also we can ping now. Control Z to stop this. Ping 172.19.0.2. Now it is pinging, right? These two containers are pinging each other, C1 to C2, C2 to C1, both are communication is there, right? Now we can inspect this network. Okay, so now Docker inspect DevOps 2, Docker network inspect DevOps 2 network. C3 is available here. See here, here network ID changed completely, 172.20.0.2. So DevOps network, DevOps 1 network is 172.19.0. That series, right? Now this is 20 series, right? Network ID changed completely. So this is different network. This is the different network. This is different network, right? Now if I try to ping from 172.19.0.2 to this container, okay, so it will not ping. So let us try to check, or else from here to here we can ping. So from C3 to C2 we can ping. Okay, C2 IP address is this one. C3 IP address is 20.0.2. C2 IP address is 19.0.2. So from C3 to C2 I try to ping now. So this is C3 container. Control Z to stop. Ping 172.19.0.2 is the C2 container. Enter. It is not pinging because from container 3 to container 2 it is not pinging. So because it is different network, right? Both are different networks. So this is different network, this is different network. Now what I will do, I will attach this container to DevOps network 2. C2 I can attach to DevOps network 2. So by the time automatically it will start pinging. Okay. Now command here is to connect Docker network, connect network name DevOps 2 and container name C2. So now what I'm doing here, so C2 container I am connecting to DevOps 2 network also. So by default Yeah, it is connected to only DevOps 1 network. Now I am connecting to DevOps 2 network. Enter. Now it is connected. Now if you check the ping, 1 second, it is connected or not, let us check. First we can inspect this. Okay, let us check that whether it is connected or not. First we'll check, then only we can. Docker network inspect DevOps 2. Yeah, see here. In DevOps 2, we have 2 containers. So C2 also we are attached to DevOps 2. But here, what happened?
IP address change.
Exactly. IP addresses. C2 is having 2 different IP addresses, right? C2 is having 2 different IP addresses, right? So now what we will do? We'll inspect only C2. By the time you'll understand how many IPs are available. Docker inspect. Docker inspect C2 space type grep space -I IP address. See here. Now this is C2. This is C2. C2 IP addresses. C2 is having 2 IP addresses, 2 different IP addresses. See here. So this is a DevOps 1 network IP. This is a DevOps 2 network IP. So now what we will do? So copy this. And paste here. Yeah. These 2 IP addresses are available. Now from C3 to C2, if you want to ping, this is the IP address. We need to ping this IP address. So this C2 is carrying 2 IP addresses. From C2 to C1, if you want to communicate, it will use this IP address. From C2 to C3, if you want to communicate, you can use this IP address, right? So here network range is changing. That is why now what I will do, from C3 to C2, I try to ping here. Control Z to stop. Ping 172.20.0.3 is the C2 IP address. Now it is pinging. From C3 to C2, it is pinging now, right? So like this, in last month, we performed some activity in our project. Okay, client requested us to restrict some network traffic to some containers. So by the time we created like this 2 different networks, and in between the 2 networks, we have created, in that networks we created some containers. Some containers, like some important containers. So communication we enabled from one network to other network. So some containers we restricted. Database containers are there. DB containers, those containers we restricted. Okay, so nearly 35 containers we created on each network. Okay, so and we configure the setup in that is Euro project. Okay, we configure that. The same way we created network here. Any questions here, anyone?
I have one. So suppose there are n number of networks, and if you want to connect only C2 to that n number of networks, then for each network there will be a different IP, right? Can't we have only single IP to connect to all the networks?
No, not possible. Because when we change network ID will be changed, right? The series will be changed completely. So single IP we can't connect to other networks. Okay, network ID completely changed. This is network ID. The first 2 octets are network ID. So this is broadcast ID. This is network ID, broadcast ID. Okay. So that is why network ID, see here, it is network ID change. Two networks are there here. Instead of the C2, we have two network IDs.
Okay.
Right?
So yeah. Okay.
So now,
Sir,
so this is, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
sir, if you give in the same gateway, it will connect, sir. Right?
Can you come again? If I give C2 gateway,
If C1, C2, C3, if you give the same gateway, it will communicate all the devices, right? Same gateway it will use.
yeah, if we use same gateways means it should be same network. Gateway, what is
Yes.
gateway? Gateway is nothing but router, right? So if you use same range, definitely it will communicate. But whenever you use different subnets or different networks, so network ID will be changed. Okay.
Yes.
Fine.
Understood.
And we have one more small concept. We can cover that. Not one concept, two concepts are there, which are like Docker volumes and Docker vaults. So it will not take much time. So we can cover these two concepts. With that concepts, we are going to complete Docker. Tomorrow we will start working on Kubernetes. Okay. So Docker is not completed. So in Kubernetes also we use Docker containers. Without containers, Kubernetes will not work. Okay. So in Kubernetes also we have containers, Docker containers. Okay. So we have volumes, Docker volumes, and vaults. With that, our concepts are completing in Docker. So from tomorrow, we'll start working on Kubernetes. Okay. Docker
Sir,
volumes.
in real time, do you have any scripts like that to connect to different networks for each containers, or else only manually we need to do one by one?
Yeah, normally in real time. So then, yes, single command we can. So what we are doing here. So these are the commands, right? So different networks, different commands. So script, we don't use script normally. For containers, till now we are not using. Maybe going forward, we may use that. Okay. Till now not using in Docker. Because currently project teams are migrating to containers, right? So maybe going forward we'll integrate with Terraform. This containers also we integrate with Terraform. By the time using Terraform script, we can create containers. So currently what we are doing, using Terraform script, we are creating EC2 instances, right? How many instances you required, we are creating. How many subnets required, how many storages required, we are creating using Terraform. So maybe going forward, okay, so using Terraform we can create containers. So currently most of the project they are not using scripting part here. So they are creating using commands only, command line only. In our project also we are using same concept, and Wipro and UHG. Yeah, my brother is there in Wipro, and UHG, one of my friend is there. So they are using same concepts. So maybe after 2 years, after 3 years, so every company started using containers. By the time, so definitely we'll integrate with Terraform. Fine.
So
Now,
what are the images that we use in real time? Because you said this BusyBox is only for test labs, right?
BusyBox is for test labs. So in real time, we use different images, maybe. Okay. In real time, also test environment we use BusyBox only. Test environment, not production environment. Test environment we use BusyBox only.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is Docker volume? Okay. So we'll try to understand. So these are very small concepts, theoretical concepts. Okay. So what is Docker volume? Fine. So Docker volumes are file systems. Docker volumes are file systems mounted on Docker containers to preserve data generated by the running containers. Fine. So it is a file system. So for example, fine. So normally, for example, this is our host. Okay, this is our host. Host means Docker server, Docker machine. Host machine. This is host machine. So host machine, I have one folder available. I have one folder available. Also, I have one file available. Okay. So one folder, one file available. The folder name here is some name. Okay, folder A. File A, for example. Okay, one folder, one file is available on my host machine. So normally in real time, what we will do? So application team will be there. Application team, what they will do? For example, one Flipkart site is there. In Flipkart site, we have so many microservices, right? So if they want to update any microservice, if they want to update any application, so every time they need to log in into the Docker machine, Docker containers. Docker containers, they need to log in, and also, yeah, they use the IP address and all, and they use all the interfaces. Then they can log in into the container and they can modify the microservices. That is normal process. But here, so what Docker volumes will help here to developers and application teams. So how using Docker volumes, how they connect containers frequently. Okay, that is the concept. So this is host machine. Host machine means your laptop or desktop, not Docker machine, not Docker server, your laptop or desktop. And this is the container. For example, this is container, Docker container. This is your laptop. This is Docker container. Right? So whatever folders are there, whatever files are there, so same name we can create inside of the Docker container, one folder or file. So here also we create like this. So this is folder A. So this is file A. So now what we will do, instead of logging into container every time, so we will link from our host machine to this Docker container container folder using Docker volumes. How can we link? So there will be some configuration. So like this. Using one command, we will link this from our host to Docker container. Okay, so like this we configure. As a DevOps engineer, we need to enable this Docker volumes for developers and application team. So while updating the application, while updating the containers, microservices, they use these volumes. So normally whenever they modify any changes here, it will be updated in this container. Whenever they modify the changes here, it will be updated in container. Okay. For example, in Flipkart, every day some modifications will be happened. By the time, every time they cannot log in into the container. That is why, so simply they will modify in their local machine. Automatically it will update in container. That is nothing but volumes. So like, for example, share paths. central paths are there, right? Network paths. Normally what we will do, network folder we map to our my computer drive, right? So whenever we modify the network drive in our local, it will be updated centrally. The same way here Docker volumes will help you to modify in containers. So I'll show you some few commands. Okay, all commands will not work here. I'll show you some commands here. Session time. Fine. So now, if you want to create any volume, the command here is docker volume space create my vol. So if you want to create any volume, so this is the command to create volume, docker volume create my vol. For example, volume name my vol. Enter. Now, if you want to check the volume, docker volume ls. Docker volume ls. So this is the volume which we created now. This is the volume. My vol is the volume, right? So now, if you want to inspect this volume, command here is. So what are the things available inside of the volume if you want to inspect? Okay, docker volume space inspect space volume name my vol. See here. So this is the volume details. Okay. So here we have driver details. Okay, and name, volume name. Okay, scope and mount points. This is the mount point. This is the mount point. Yeah, ls. So nothing is there inside of this volume. Nothing is there. So in this volume, we can create some file folder, whatever folder you require. You can create this and you can map to container folder. So that will work in enterprise edition. So it will not work here. Okay. In this volume, whatever files you created, that will map to container directory. Fine.
So is there any command that need to be executed or directly it will get mapped, sir?
Yeah, command will be there. I'll provide you commands. Okay. To link that from local to container, there will be there is a command. Okay, I'll provide you that command. I'll provide you the sheet today, whatever commands available. Docker volume. I'm removing this rm my vol. I'm deleting this volume. Docker volume rm volume. Now it is deleted. So docker volume ls. No volume selected. Fine. So this is the way normally in real time we configure this. I have comments. I have some sheet, so I'll share with you. Okay. I prepared some sheet, command sheet. I'll share with you. In that you will get the command. And one more small concept is there, which is Docker vaults. Okay, this is also theoretical part. So Docker vault. What is Docker vault? So quickly you can complete this. It will not take much time. It will take 5 minutes only. Docker vaults. So basically, what is vault? We discussed about Ansible vaults, right? What is Ansible vault?
Secret folder.
Yeah, to secure our playbooks, we use vaulting, right? So here also same concept. Docker vault, Docker vaults means, so using Docker vaults, we can secure, we can protect our certificates, APIs, and passwords like that. Okay. What is a tool from HashiCorp? What is a tool from HashiCorp organization for securing, storing your passwords, secrets, and APIs certificates? Okay. For example, normally, so when we use this vault for the we require HashiCorp tool, third-party tool required. To implement the security, we require HashiCorp third-party tool. So here you can go and check here. HashiCorp vaults. Let's start this. See here. HashiCorp vault manage secrets, protect sensitive data. Right? So this we require. So if you want to secure your Docker vaults, we require this HashiCorp vault. So this is third party. HashiCorp is the organization. Okay. Terraform developed by HashiCorp only. Terraform developed by HashiCorp only. So use this vault, we can protect our Docker passwords, secrets, okay, APIs, certificates, all these things. Even though Kubernetes also we use HashiCorp vaults. In Kubernetes also we use HashiCorp vault. Okay, so this is a very simple concept, but we'll have one question. Where we use this Docker vaults? Interview question. Why we require Docker vaults? To protect passwords, secrets, APIs, certificates, we use Docker vaults. So how can you use that? Using HashiCorp vault. HashiCorp is the organization. It is a third-party tool, so we can download into Docker and we can protect the password, secrets, certificates. That is, it is a simple concept, theoretical one. So you can, if you get that question, you can answer like this. Fine. So with this, we have done Docker concepts. So still we have so many concepts in Kubernetes also, Docker concepts. Okay. So without Docker, we cannot configure Kubernetes. Okay. Tomorrow we'll start Kubernetes, right? So it will take 6 days, 6 to 7 days maximum. Kubernetes will take 6 to 7 days. So Kubernetes is very core tool, advanced tool, very important tool. Fine. Any questions, anyone? Yeah, we stop here for today. So up to here you can practice. Networking concept is very important. You can practice this. So tomorrow we'll start Kubernetes. Fine. Thank you all.